welcome to a new video in our CodeWars series. In this video, we're going to be solving two level 6 katas, which is a level of difficulty harder than we've been solving. We've been doing level 7 in the last couple videos, so 6 is definitely a little bit harder, but still it's sort of on the beginner novice part, so we should be able to fly through these pretty quickly. So without further ado, let's move on to the first kata, which is called the highest scoring word. And here, given a string of words, we need to find the highest scoring word. Each letter of the word scores points according to its position in the alphabet. You know, A is 1, B is 2, etc. We need to find the highest scoring word of the string and then return that word. If two words score the same, return the word that appears earliest in the original string. And then last but not least, all the letters will be lowercase and all the inputs will be valid. So let's delete the code they have written here. And just to talk through what we're going to do real quick, first we're going to take our string, which here you can see an example is something along the lines of, man, I need a taxi up to Abud. And then the answer that we want is taxi. Taxi is the highest scoring word. So first we're going to want to split our string up so that each word is its own, element. We're going to loop through those elements and then we're going to score each of those. And, if they are higher than the preceding element or whichever element is the max at the moment, then we want to replace that and keep looping through and seeing if we can beat that max with a higher scoring word. And then at the end, we're going to return that answer. So like we said, first we're going to split this up. So now we no longer have just a plain string. Now we have a list of strings called X. And we're also going to define our max score as 0. Before moving on. So like I said, we're going to be looping through our elements in X, looping through our words. And at the start of each, loop, we're going to just define score as 0 so that we can calculate the score of each word starting from scratch. And so for letter in elem, like I said, we're looping through X, which is our list of strings. And so once we loop through the elements, that means we're basically looping through each individual letter. So we're going to go from M to A and then all the way to N using this for loop. And here we're going to add to our score, and we have to use a built-in function called ord. And ord, I believe, is short for ordinal, and it returns an integer ordinal of a character string. And so basically every letter, whether it's capital or lowercase, or every character as well, numbers are included. Or like percent and hashtag and other symbols. But it basically will return a given value. And for the lowercase alphabet, the ordinal values are from 97 to 122, with 97 being A, 98 being B, and onward. So what we have to do is call ordinal of letter, and then we subtract 96 because we want to get down to 1, as is shown in the description here. And just to make this a little bit more clear, I'm going to wrap this sum in parentheses just to show that it's a single sum that we're adding to score, which at first is 0. And then, like I said, we need to determine if our score is greater than our max score. At first we determine it to be 0 just to start off at. So if score is greater than max score, we want to replace max score. So max score becomes the new higher score. And then we also want to write our answer as our element, because our element here is our word that we're still looping through in our first for loop. And so what this will do is it'll loop through, it'll first split our string into shorter strings which correspond to each word. And then we're looping through each word, and then we're looping through each element or each letter in that word. And then we're adding to our score. We're determining if our max score is greater. If it is, then we want a new max score. And we also want to declare our answer as that element because we want to return that word. And so last but not least, we just have to return our answer. So we're going to go ahead and test that. We passed the 3 test cases, awesome. And now we're going to try the big test cases. We passed all 105 of those, awesome. So let's move on. So this is also level 6 kata, but it's a pretty easy one. So you're just going to fly through it. It's pretty similar to classic FizzBuzz problem, which you might see, in an internship interview or even like a phone screen, possibly. It's basically, although this is a variation of the FizzBuzz problem. So we're given, if we list all the natural numbers below 10 that are multiples of 3 or 5, we get 3, 5, 6, and 9, and the sum of these is 23. And that's basically what we have to do for any input number that's given to us. We have to take the sum of the multiples of 3 and 5 that are less than that number, and sum them all together. And the only important thing to note here is if the sum, like say it's 15, we only count that once, we don't count it twice when we're summing to our answer here. So we're just going to call our sum 0 because we want to start at 0. And then for I in range number, so we're going to be counting from 0 all the way up to our number in increments of 1. We just want to add if the number is divisible by, if I is divisible by 3, I mod 3 equals 0, or I mod 5 equals 0, double equals for comparison. Then we want to add two sums, so sum plus equals I. And so we just need to return our sum because that's what it's asking us for. So we're going to go ahead and test that, see what we get. We passed the one test case, awesome, and we passed all those. Cool. So I hope you enjoyed these. Like I said, these are pretty basic. Although they are level 6 kata, it was sort of the most basic ones I could find. Moving forward, we're going to be solving some harder level 6 katas. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we appreciate that. Thanks very much. Bye.